Hey, what's up, everybody? Well, I did it. I finished the update. I hope you guys had a good 4th of July. Mine was rainy. It rained in it. It was a thunderstorm here, so it was a perfect time to play the game. And the game came out like 4 a.m. this morning, so I was able to. I didn't play it that early because I was like, nah. I saw it when I got up, and I was like, okay, it released that early. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I bought it on Steam. It was $7.99, and I was like, you know what? Okay, all right, it's not bad. It's not bad. You know me. I'm always gonna be honest about how I thought the episode went, and I had fun. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I wasn't really sure how it was going to be at first because it started off a little bit slowish, but you know me, I analyze everything that I see, and there was a couple of things that I saw that kind of excited me. So I'm about to get into it, and I hope you guys are ready. Like this video. Let me know what you thought about the episode down below, and let's get right into it. Now, Leah calls William. I'm gonna use his name because not his name's not that bad to whatever, but that's obviously not what I named my character. But I'm gonna say his name like that. So Leah calls William to come to her place because she wants to talk. William, he carved out a heart-shaped piece of wood, and I guess he left it for her to find, and she found it. And the reason why he did that is because when they were kids, they had wrote their name in the tree. In the last, in the other episodes, he went to go look at the tree, and we were never able to see the tree, but he fell asleep by the tree. And the girlfriend, Miyu, she was looking for him, and he fell asleep in the woods. So he goes there, and he goes to talk to her, and it cuts to a little flashback of Leah playing chess with this older man. And Leah is basically saying that she doesn't like to make the first move in chess because every time she would make the first move, it wouldn't work and she would lose. And basically the man tells her that sometimes you got to introduce chaos into the match, to be able to get what you want. And that might lead to you winning the game. That happens. So you go to Leah's place. She's obviously naked. Well, I did not know she was going to be naked because of the picture that we saw last time. It looked like she had clothes on, but obviously she's naked. He said he climbed the fence and stuff like that. And he was like, a little bit uncomfortable. Do you want me to get you some clothes? She said no. And basically she wanted to talk about him saying that he was in prison for like a couple of years. William says that he was set up by this girl that he was dating, and when he said that he was going to go back home, she set him up, put some of her jewelry in his bag. She called the police. Her father was a politician, and they got him sent upstate. And Leah's like, that's bullshit. Like, how was that even to happen? You got rights or whatever. He's basically saying that, I guess it just didn't matter. That's what they wanted to do, and they did it. So he took the charge on the chin, whatever. And they did give him a call, but he didn't want to call because he did not want to face his family for what happened and him leaving. But I think it alludes that his mom he was able to talk to her. I don't know what was said, but he talked to her at the time. But he did not want to, face the situation after he came out of prison. After he explains the story to Leah, she decks him in the face pretty hard, and he understands, but he let her have that. And as they reminisce, it gets to William bringing up George. I'm gonna butcher your last name, so just forgive me for that. Bringing up his name, and her being like, "How did you find out about that?" He did his own digging, and it basically alluding that she might have sent him up the way, like she took him out of here. And we don't know if she actually did that or not. Had somebody else do it, whatever. But it's still, you would still get the charge regardless. If you sent somebody to do it, you still get the charge. So it is still murder. So I guess we're on the impression that she murdered this man. And after that, they reminisce, and basically he's telling her that leave stuff in the past. I want to just think about the future. And after that, you have an option to either kiss her on the forehead, kiss her on the lips, or don't kiss her at all. Me, I like to live on the wild side, so I kissed her on the lips. After that, Leah basically, they talk about Miyu, and basically Leah, at first I wouldn't have thought that she liked her, but apparently she says that she likes her, and she kind of wishes that she had either met her first or that they weren't together so she could come work for her and be a friend to her. Then they talk about the tree, and Leah basically says that she cut his name out the tree. So that's why, I guess that's why when he saw the tree, he laid there and went to sleep. I kind of wish we could have saw the tree, but I guess it had been so long. I guess maybe he didn't really need to show it, I guess, because we wanted to allude later on what was going on with the tree. Then after that, Leah basically, they talk about the gangs and stuff like that. And Leah basically says that she doesn't want to wage war. She would rather them join forces. I wouldn't expect that at first, because I was thinking that maybe she was just wanted to get rid of them. But apparently she's like, it's a smarter move to join forces. And she also wants to join forces with that club owner, which we are able to figure out that it's a woman instead of a man. I thought it was a man, but apparently it's a woman. And she's like, she wants to join forces with her too. Interesting. And after that, they talk about Helen, and they talk about Scarlett, and William's like, they're up to something. And basically Leah says that they're up to something at the hospital, with the doctor, then finding cum in this soap dispenser and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on up there. But then Leah basically says that she, they've been pulling stunts. And Leah says that she thinks Scarlett wants to get rid of the head doctor because she wants to be in that position. She wants his position. She wants his influence. And she's like, she doesn't know. We don't know how Helen's involved in the situation, but I guess we'll find out later on. After that, William comes up behind her, very, very close from behind, you know, normal, these type of activities, I guess. Then we find out that they are both adopted. They said taken in, adopted. I say adopted, same thing. They're adopted, and they both have different family last names. So William's family was way more hated than Leah's family. William's family was like shot, and if both of them would have been done for, if not for the stuff passing down to the children. Like, I guess they didn't have that much hate in their hearts to kill the children, but sometimes in the mob they don't really care about all that. So, but I guess that's good on them. But William's family and Leah's family, they work close together, so their families knew each other. And Leah basically thinks that all the families against her, plotting against her and stuff like that. So she's like high key paranoid about everything. She even thinks that Katie and Helen and all the close in her family is against her, which I don't think that, considering the gameplay. I really don't think that. I think that she just doesn't know who to trust, and it's understandable. After he calms her down with that, they basically talk about Helen and her basically being able to get what she wanted. Like when he was like a child, when he was younger, he played football, and basically Helen used her assets to persuade the father of one of the persons that was a starter on the team, and the wife got mad at him. They got a divorce, and the boy moved away, and William was able to take his spot on the team. So that's like one of the instances of her using her body to get what she wants. So she's not afraid of playing dirty. And I think William says like, oh, he remembered it, but he wasn't really thinking about it like that. Like, oh, okay, so she was using what she had to help me. So she says she cares. I mean, she didn't have to do that, but hey. After they share that story, it's time for bed. Before that, Leah gets a nosebleed. But then it's time for bed, and they go in the room, and she basically tells him that he cannot sleep underneath the blanket. But his I don't know if his lower half was covered with a blanket, but it kind of seemed like it. No, actually, it probably wasn't. I think he was laying on top of it. But which is, I can't do that. I don't like not sleeping with anything on top of me. I don't like it. So, but Leah, I mean, she looked really good. I ain't gonna lie, with the hair down and stuff like that, she looks good. That was a really sensual scene and stuff like that. And she was like, I ain't shaved for nothing and stuff like that. Nothing was gonna come out of that really, but a cute moment nonetheless from both of them. After they do their morning thing, Zoe calls his phone. She wants to meet, and they go and get coffee. And when they go there, she basically tells him that she wants to go into business with him. And if you talk earlier if you say you wanted to go into porn, Zoe really, first she was like, she wanted to do like the stuffed animal thing, but then I feel like she really honed in on that porn, studio stuff. So she basically says she wants to go into business with him, with the porn studio. And they want to use Miyu to basically get their company off the ground. Good idea. They're able to take some of the girls from Studio 81, which is a prominent studio. If they hire some girls and they see that they are treating them well and paying them well and treating them with the respect, then they think that the girls are just going to come. It happens sometimes. They might threaten the girls and whatever, but that's not going to last too long. The studio is going to be as prominent as them or even more than them. So that's their little game plan. But first, they need a loan. He goes back home and he sees Miyu. She's in the bed. She hung over, and she says, just let me sleep a little bit more, and he lets her sleep. After that, he goes into the kitchen and Katie's in there. He's joking with her, he's calling her a fish, and he's basically joking about her putting her milk before her cereal and stuff like that. And after that, he's being nice to her, and she's very suspicious of his behavior. She doesn't really know if she should, be cautious of the way he's acting towards her, which is understandable because of the childhood trauma stuff. She doesn't know how to feel about it. And after that, he's asking her, does she want to go work out? And he's like, what the heck? Like, for real? Okay. And, he kind of has to push her a little bit, but, she gets dressed and they go to the gym. Yeah, it starts off with him in the gym with some short shorts on. Those some short shorts. He walks up to him and she's like, okay, what do we start with? And he's like, I thought you were going to work out and I was going to work out and we are going to do it separately. But honestly, if somebody invites me to the gym, I thought, like, I understand, like, not all the time, but with him, I guess I would just thought that we were going to work out together, but that's not always the case. But that's what she thought. And when he said that, she kind of got, shot down, and she was like, oh, and he felt a little bad. So he was like, you know what, let's work out. Let's work out together. So they start working out together. After that, she's doing shoulders with weights, and he's like, what is your plan? And she's like, what do you mean? And, he like, I want to see your plan. She gives him she gives him the plan, and he looking at the plan, he's disgusted. He's like, who gave you the plan? And basically she's like, the gym coach that trains him for volleyball or whatever. And he was like, I'm going to write you a new plan. It's not it. He's giving her, the full body workout, and they start doing legs and stuff like that. And after that, he starts stretching her out. And after that, he stretches her legs up really high, and then she ends up putting him in a leg lock with her legs. And after that, she reminisces and was like, you remember when we used to wrestle? And he was like, you were really fragile. And he was like, me and Leah, we used to wrestle until we bled, but you were more fragile. And she was like, you put me through a glass table. And I was like, what the hell? I'm putting through a glass table? Why the hell would you put her through a glass table? Anyway, and then she ended up breaking her finger. because of that. So he's like, glass one, you zero, and stuff like that. And that was funny. I don't know, like that's kind of strange, but hey, it is what it is. And then they start talking about the pranks that they used to pull on each other, and Katie really starts to get mad about it because he was like, remember the time I made you kiss a squirrel and stuff like that, and you could tell from her face she started to really get pissed about that. And then after that, she says that I'm gonna start a rumor that you sexually assaulted me. And then there was a little girl in there, and she looked, and she like, well, she minded her business though, but that was strange. And then Katie's like, oh, I'm just kidding. And then she's like, I'm really not kidding. I'm gonna ruin you. So after that, he was like, I'm gonna tell Miyu, and she's gonna put you in a wheelchair. And Katie was like, no, I'm gonna tell her, and she's gonna break up with you, and then we're gonna be together, and we're gonna be in a triangle relationship and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty funny. So that was that. Then they get into the squats, and Katie's kind of stuck in the squat position because she's saying she can't lift back up. And then to make her lift up, he sticks his finger where it doesn't shine, and it makes her jump up and stuff like that. And then she forgets she was in pain. And then after all of a sudden, she feels like she's in pain, and then she just falls to the ground. So I guess like that kind of, I ain't gonna lie, that's one way to make you like jump. Like I'm not even gonna lie. So it's happened to me before, and it's not pretty. It's a very like what the, it's like a what the heck type of feeling. So I understand why she acted that way. After the workout, he compliment her assets, and I guess she likes that. And then after that, she basically says like, what do you think would have happened to you if you went after me instead of going after Leah? He clearly ignores that, but she really wants to, I guess she's really curious about that question. And she says that basically, I guess the family told him that he could not do anything with Katie or with Leah either. But she basically says like, who do you think, what do you think would be worse, if they caught you with Katie or if they caught you with Leah? If I had to guess, probably Katie. But if you got to think about for right now, probably Leah, because you would think that they would be able to marry her off to like a really prominent family with her. So I'd say both. I'd probably say both though. Then they go and go freshen up, and William is in the shower. He gets out the shower and he looks in the mirror, and if you look in the mirror, you can see his old self without him bulked up as he is now. And you could kind of allude that what Katie said, about him kind of got to him. And for me, what I thought about it is, how you can bulk up, you can lose weight, and you can look good, but at the same time, that does not mean you're not going to be self-conscious about the way you look. There's people that, I don't know about PDs, I don't know about taking steroids or anything like that, but if you bulk up naturally, you look big, sometimes it doesn't stop you from being self-conscious about your muscles and stuff like that. Or, for example, me, when I was younger, I had abs. My abs were like defined, and I'm a woman, and back then, like, women, not a lot of women had abs. So when I would wear shirts, my shirts would like cling to my stomach, and it would show my abs. So with me, I would pinch my shirts, and I would like try to move it so it wouldn't be on my stomach. And now, like, I don't care about that because now abs is okay. But back then, I don't know. I think there was a stigma for women having abs. Like, it just wasn't the move. It was like very, it just wasn't something that women would do. They want to tone down, but they wouldn't want to bulk up and stuff like that. Me, I have a very, very athletic body, so I couldn't help that. So I can kind of relate to how he feels in that moment when he looked in the mirror. After that, a woman comes up to William, and she's like, what good? And with the eye condition, and she's like, that's so cool. And after that, she walks by Katie. Katie, doesn't look her in the eyes. And then after that, he says that that's the woman. She says that that's the woman that Helen and Scarlett are jealous of. Body wise, I'm not really sure. I can't say too much about that, but she looks cute. I mean, she's cute in the face. She looks cute, but they're cute. They're all beautiful women. So sometimes I can't really understand the jealousy sometimes. Like, I can understand envy, but with jealousy for other people's looks, I don't really feel that way, really. Everybody has a room for improvement, but I don't know. Unless she's like stealing their men's gazes and stuff like that, I don't really get it, but it's not for us to get. But hopefully she plays a part in the story later on. She looks cute though. They get to the car, and basically Katie's like, why are you wearing a hoodie? It's really hot. What's up with the hoodie? And he's like, mind your business. That's my business. I can do it if I want to. And when they get back home, William's basically saying like, dang, she basically saw right through me. Like, she actually like had a one up on me about the situation, because I was feeling subconscious at that moment, very anxious about how I was feeling, and she saw that, and he didn't like that really. But he basically says she's not stupid. She's able to grasp the situation for what it is, and she saw that. So he was like, okay, that's good. It's very awkward. And then Katie asks him, if he wants to play something, and he's like, "What's up with that?" The only time you ask him if you want to play something is when you feel sorry about something, like when you want to apologize. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And apparently it's true. After that, they cut to Dana. She's going into her job. She gives a homeless man outside the job change. Apparently she knows him, so she must give him money a lot. Then she runs into this man named Stuart, and in the elevator they have a nice chat. She's coming up the elevator, he says he got to get to a meeting, but Dana, being playful, I guess, she mashes a lot of the buttons on the elevator to make it be longer for him to be able to get to where he needs to go because he's late. But he said he only has 2 minutes to get there. So I guess she, it was pretty funny. Then this man, she gets to the office and this man, he comes up and is telling her to take a case and stuff like that. And he's rubbing all up on her. And at first I was like, what the heck is going on here? Like, is this like a man? Is this a man that she's dating or whatever? But apparently it's not. And he pops her dressy shirt that she's wearing. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm thinking that she's just gonna take it because she's like, okay, I don't wanna make any waves or anything like that. But no, Dana, she's with it and she's like, hey, Paul, you know, you're gonna handle that case. And he's like, why would I do that? Because I'm gonna go to HR. If you don't want me to go to HR, you need to do this. You make your choice. And he's like, yeah. I was like, hey, that's what I'm talking about, Dina. Yeah, HR is not is right there. It's in the office for a reason. We can't do that. We cannot stand for it. Proud. She made me really proud. And she opened up her, her drawer, and you can see a little bit of tools of pleasure in her drawer. I was like, okay, Dana, not on the clock. Not she doing stuff on the clock, but hey, you gotta get in where you finish. She's probably really busy, late hours. Hey, it is what it is. She ain't getting anything any other way. She ain't getting touched any other way. So hey, I'll let her have that. Moving forward, William, he sees Helen out by the pool, looking over into the horizon, and they're basically talking about where she wants to be taken for dinner, for the upcoming dinner. And she basically wants to go to Santiago, and it's a 2-hour drive, and it's not a restaurant, it's a casino. So you're like, well, what's going on with there? What's going on? And he's like, oh, wait a minute, isn't that Uncle Giuseppe's resort? Oh, okay. And he's basically like, okay, so it was fun here. It was fun here while I lasted. And Helen, she exhales and she's like, ugh, whatever, and she just walks off. So she didn't like that. After that, we get a call from Dana, and she basically wants to show us the place where William and Miri will be living if they take the place anyway. So he said he'll be there ASAP. He goes into the room and he wakes up Miri and basically tells her, come on, let's go. We got to go see the place. And she puts on this Moo outfit looking like a cow. I was like, oh wow, that was not joking. She's actually just like that. Okay, cool. I mean, she makes it work, so it is what it is. Dana, we see her, she shows us the place, and the place, honestly, the place looks really nice. But the option was not, I was surprised to see that you can bend her over the table. And Miri didn't say anything about it. And she's like, well, you could kick him, if you don't like it. And I wasn't expecting it, but it's Dana, so I didn't care. Like, I was gonna do it. You know me, I play WoW, so I was definitely going to do that. And I did it. No regrets at all. And she basically says that she does not get nothing from her partner. All he wants to do is touch her with her clothes on. And you can give her advice, and you can basically say, like, you gotta take drastic measures, or you cannot encourage her. But I decided to encourage her because I feel like anything that's gonna happen is gonna happen regardless. If he's not doing anything with her, then because of their relationship, I feel like you'll still get a chance, even though, like, I didn't want to make it seem like I did not want to help her with her relationship. And I don't do that. So she's in a relationship, I'm in a relationship, I'm gonna help her with her relationship. Why not? After that, they talk about the place. She shows them the place, and it's really, 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 really nice. Like, I saw the rooms and I'm like, that's really nice, man. That's a really nice place. So they basically say, like, they're interested in taking it, but the MC's a little bit like, I'm not really sure. Like, let's just give us some time. And she's like, what's going on? Like, we got the money, let's do it. And he's like, I mean, it isn't really about that. It's more so about, I don't know if we're going to be able to really stay here yet. Like, I got to take care of some business first. After that, if it goes well, then we can do it. But right now, I can't do it right now. And we also find out that he is not really the one with the money. She's the one with the money, which is terrible, if I'm being honest. But at least he's starting a business so he can get his own money just in case something happens. You don't want to be left out in the street. I ain't gonna lie. And another reason, like, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about my point on that later on. And of course, we're being followed. We get our first inkling that we're being followed, preferably by the feds. Not good, but moving forward, Helen and Dalen come in, and they're going out to dinner, and basically tells her that I'll do all the talking. So I'm like, okay, well, I honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I think that she's I don't know, like, if she's really playing like she's mute and she's really not. Wow, like, that's commitment. Like, that's crazy. Like, me personally, I've played that. Like, I played mute. You're mad at your pants, and you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'm just not gonna talk anymore. And it only lasts like a couple of hours, or it only lasts like a couple of minutes, and you just end up talking because you have to. Yeah, kind of like that. But if you're able to, there's some people that are able to do that, not able to talk at all because they just don't want to. Or I'm not talking about psychological issues. I mean, that's your personal choice of not talking. I've seen it, so it's possible. But if she's actually doing that and she's not, like, having an issue, then wow, that's crazy. And basically, Leah tells him that she was writing on a piece of paper, and she was like, what? Like, she's never done that. Like, she always points and smiles and does other things besides writing down. She doesn't want to do that. And he was like, yeah, I kind of. And then he was like, do you think that she's faking it? Like, do you think that she can actually talk? Like, And she's like, why would she do that? I don't know. It's really drastic, but could be, could be. But I can't wait till we find out about that. But moving on, I just wanted to bring that back up. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think she actually cannot talk, or do you think that she's like playing it up like she can't talk? Okay, let's go. And believe me, I'm gonna be talking about the important bits. Like, I don't want this episode to be like an hour and like 20 minutes. Like, I want it to be to cover the important parts of the episode that I feel like are worth talking about. And there's a lot. This episode was long, so imagine what the Summer's Gone episode is gonna be like. Oh my god, doing a review on that is gonna have to be in parts. If I'm being honest, just parts, because there's no way I'm gonna make that episode's probably gonna be 3 hours, and I don't want to talk that long. I can talk that long, but I know people are gonna watch that video like that long. But if you guys are, let me know. Moving on, he goes to Zoe's office, wants to talk to her. He goes in there and basically, okay, I don't know where I am because I don't know where I was just at because my microphone died. I had to change it out. But he gets to Zoe's office, and they're gonna be talking about the porn studio. When you get there, there's moments where you can flirt with Zoe. You can tell her, we can shoot a movie in here, and she's like, nah, not, and I'm not doing that. And also, like, after you talk about the whole situation, you could kiss her on the lips. So that was pretty cool. We're definitely gonna do something with Zoe in the future, probably in the next episode. I'm being real, but yeah, it's pretty cute. I mean, Zoe's cute. I like her. Then it cuts to Monica and Benjamin. He basically wants to talk about William, and she's like, that's in the past. I don't want to talk about it. And he really wants to talk about it. And I'm like, he basically like is giving her the cold shoulder, and he basically walks out, and he does not like that. Honestly, if it was me, I just tell him, like, I don't. It's like, okay, me, I feel like she's trying to protect him, because I feel like if you really don't like somebody, as you say, what is the problem? Okay, let me back up. I understand it's very embarrassing, but that's your partner, that's your husband, whatever. Why don't you just tell him he did something to me that was very, very embarrassing to me, and I hate him for it? I don't really get it, but if you're able to do something with Monica, I don't know the love interest for this game. I don't know. I don't even know if he even made a list. But if you can do something with Monica, that makes more sense, because she's holding that to her cards. And I feel like if we be nice to her, I feel like she'll be able to let us back in. It just takes some elbow grease to get back in there, but I feel like it's a thing. I feel like it's doable. Next scene cuts to Emilio going to go pick up money from this guy. The money was supposed to be due by the 1st. It's the 15th, and the dude still hasn't paid his debt. Mew was there as muscle to collect the debt, and she, throws a knife. She roughs him up, and after that, Emilio was like, "You don't have to, you don't have to do that. We don't really want to have a violent. We don't want people to think of us as violent." And she's basically like, "Man, you gotta use some violence, or people's gonna just keep getting over on us. Like, the payment was on the 1st. It's the 15th. I'm like, you gotta make sure, or he's gonna keep doing this shit." And she's right. I mean, damn, like, he felt really comfortable not paying his due when he was supposed to. So I agree with her on that point, but it is what it is. After that, she gets a smoothie, and there's, she's sitting down talking to William, and she's basically saying that that's what I went to go do with him. I ran a job, and he was like, that's very dangerous. And then they start talking about pregnancies and stuff like that, and she's like, I want a kid, and he's like, I don't want to, I'm not opposed to having a child, but I don't want to do it right now because of everything that's going on. And she's like, she understands, but look, we're gonna have a baby. Like, that's non-negotiable. We're gonna have a kid. Like, that's something that's gonna happen, or I'm gonna dip. There's some people out there that's like that. Like, if you can't give them a kid, or you don't want to have a kid with them, that's like a deal breaker. So she's basically saying that's a deal breaker. Like, we're gonna have a kid one day. So there's that. Then after that, you visit Gina at her shop. She's making cupcakes and stuff, and she brings us a cupcake. We see she has tattoos, and they're joking around like they normally do. William ends up putting her on his lap, and they're talking about the boyfriend, about what he would like, and he's probably okay with that situation. And she's basically saying that she knows that Katie went with him to work out, and she's basically saying that she said it was a good workout. It wasn't like anything like bad or nothing like that. She didn't bad talk the workout. It's still kind of like, okay, interesting, but still, really. Then they talk about Gina's college, and she basically says like she couldn't afford it, and like her, basically it wasn't on like every situation just wasn't on the cards for her to go. Her father had PTSD, and the shop basically was like their bread and butter for their money situation. So if that doesn't work out, then they'll basically lose everything. And I'm surprised we haven't seen the mom at all. In the old version, we saw her, like, I think the first episode, as soon as we saw Gina, she was there, or she came in later on after we met her, probably like the second time, and she looked really good. So I'm pretty sure her mom's gonna look really good. But I'm surprised we haven't met her yet. But she said that she'll let her know that he's coming, for her to show up so we can meet her. He goes back home, and he basically is talking to you, and she'll be going home for a couple of days to take care of business, and basically it's like a little mini vacation for her. And we find out this is the first time they've been apart for like in years, like, so it's very like emotional for them to be apart. They're able to do that, and it cuts to a flashback of William basically getting out, and Mr. Sullivan, that's his name, basically like told him that he might not survive, but if he did survive, they were gonna have a drink together. And basically, he was able to do good in there because he's a very charismatic person. They have a drink. He's walking through the streets, and he runs into Miyu, and she basically is like, "I told you I was gonna be there," but they hadn't seen each other in like 2 months. Um, then they sit down and eat together, and she basically like, "What are you gonna do?" And he was like, he was gonna go back home, but like he's not really sure about going back there to face everybody. And basically, Miyu, she's like, "I could set you up with a job in the city." But at the time, what we learned, she had a boyfriend. He described the boyfriend as like a little bit chubbier than him, doesn't look like him basically, but we learned that she doesn't really care about looks. It's more about who you are as a person, I guess. After that cutscene, like after that flashback is over, it cuts to Katie and Helen watching TV, talking about lotion. And William sits down. He's like, she left the train station to take care of personal issues. Katie's like, "Oh no," and basically he's like, "I plan to get a place, and I plan on staying if everything goes well with the whole situation." And Helen, she gets overjoyed. She hugs Katie and him together, squishing her, and she's like, Katie's like very uncomfortable. She don't want. She's like, "What is going on here? Please let me go." And Helen puts her hand in her mouth and was like, "Shut the fuck up," basically. And then Helen gets up, she leaves. And Kelly is very uncomfortable. But I feel like I think this is my favorite part of the episode, I think. Yep, I definitely think it's my favorite part of the episode. So after that, William's basically asking Katie if she knows about the whole Uncle Giuseppe stuff. He's basically asking Katie if she knows about the Uncle Giuseppe stuff, and she's like, "No, I don't pay attention to that. I just mind my business and I do my lingerie." And William's like, "Okay, well, what's up with the lingerie? Like, let me see what you got. Like, let me see your stuff." And he's like, "Okay." And then they're talking about her getting banned off the website where she used to prototype her stuff, like show her stuff, because she argued with one of the people that was in the group, and she called her all types of names and stuff like that. So then he's like, "Okay, well, he wants to see what she got." So she comes up with some lingerie, and she looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, but her lingerie, she does like that thing down there, like it's like it shows, your stuff down there, and that's like the style that she likes. And he lifts her leg up, and he's, "What is this?" And she's like, "I put like a pasty down there so you couldn't see my stuff." And he's basically like, I approve of it. I like it. I would definitely I would buy it for my girl, basically." And then the next the next outfit is like a white lingerie set, and he's basically telling her like, "Yo, chill out with the posing, like you're making it awkward for me." And after that, she's kind of corpses down, and she's like, "Is this good?" And he was like, "Yeah." And she basically says like her pieces are $1,500, and he's like, $5,000, and she's like, "Look, this is expensive pieces. Like I gotta stitch it. I do it myself. This is expensive. Like this is an expensive job, man. I gotta charge what I'm worth." So he's basically like, "I'll buy a set, and after that, maybe you can make the clothes for people on the job." And she's like, "Okay, all right, we can do that. We can do that." And she gets really excited about the clothes, like about the stitching and stuff. Like you could tell that she's really passionate about it. And that was really cute to see. It was a really cute moment to see. And she's basically like, "The fashion world is booming. I do got competition. That's kind of why I want to get the loan, because I got kicked off the form, and that was kind of some of my income. But now I'm like, I don't think Leah's ever gonna get me a loan. Shit's crazy." And basically, we keep it to ourselves. After that, I was like, "Oh man, we can't tell her that we're gonna go get a loan, because I know she's gonna give us the loan." But Katie's been begging for a loan, and she won't give her one. But we'll get to that, why she won't give her one later on. Um, After that, he's like, "Well, I mean, why don't you just have some of the girls like walk around in your lingerie in town?" And she's like, "Ew, no, that's gonna like diminish my brand before it even starts. I'm not doing that." Which is, I don't know about all that. That's some really wow marketing. But I'm not saying people haven't done it. I mean, I've seen it myself, so it's possible to do. But I don't know about the type of brand image that you want by doing something like that. Then it cuts forward to Miyu being on the train, and that guy that William hit was on the train. And he's like, "Yo, did you see the guy that hit me?" I'm glad that he actually did not. He was looking. He didn't see William, because obviously he was knocked out. So he just saw her, and she's like, "Did you see the way he looked?" And she's basically describing not him. And she's like, "Where are you going?" And basically they talk. And honestly, I said this as I was playing. He's definitely going to be an NTR. Definitely going to be an NTR guy, because he doesn't look half bad, and he's not bad. Like he's not like bad looking. So I could see something happening for real, if we're being real. If you got NTR on, but if you cheat on her, he might be an option. Okay, it cuts to another one of my favorite scenes. Oh my god, this is when the episode started to like pick up for me, and I started to be like, "This is what I'm talking about. This is classic. This is classic. The old word I'll be on. Like this is the type of stuff that would make me happy." And honestly, this is the Katie that I missed. Like I thought she was gone. Like I was like, "Oh man, we got to meet Katie. She's not gonna give us that passionate burning that she used to give." Like even though she was like an ass for some of the stuff that she did, but you gotta understand, like she was traumatized because of what they used to do to her as a child. So I'm not really gonna hate on her for her feelings that she had because of what happened to her. But moving on to my favorite scene, It was good. Okay, this is what happened. I'm gonna skip ahead to the juicy bits. Okay, Cat comes in. I'm telling you, like, Cat, Katie, man, it's so close. It trips me up every time. Cat comes in, and basically they're talking and stuff like that. And she basically said, like, he says that, she modeled her lingerie for me. And at first, I guess she thought that, she just showed the lingerie, but she was like, I modeled the lingerie. And, like, I'm okay with that because I model my stuff. Like, I do that all the time, so I don't have a problem with doing it. And, I guess Cat was surprised that she actually did that. Then they talk about Cat's, like, beef with Dana, and she's like, I'm not beefing, like, with her. I don't have, like, it's cut on that. Basically, William, he talks about to Cat about her beef with Dana, and basically she's like, I don't care what you think about it. It's my beef. And he's like, I really don't want you guys to fight. Like, it's both of you guys are close to me. After that, Katie's like, can we be quiet? Can we watch the episode? And then it turns into my favorite. Oh man, I love this. I love this. I love this because honestly, Katie, that's my girl right there. That's my girl. Then her, him and Katie, they start talking about their little situations that they've been having, with the ass kissing and the rubbing and the touching and the looking and stuff like that. And basically, he's talking about, that I can't do anything with you, so why do you keep, like, egging me on? Like, why do you keep making me do these things, knowing that I cannot go through with it? And she's basically like, what are you talking about? I'm not making you do anything. Like, and even if I don't care about that. Like, you care about it, but I don't. He's like, I know I'm under pressure. And she's basically, Katie starts getting serious, and she's like, I know all that stuff that you said to me. I know you're under pressure, so I'm not going to take it seriously. But forget all that. Forget what I just said. Start right here. Basically, they start talking, and they're talking about the whole situation of the looking and the touching and, the situations that they've been getting themselves into lately. And he's like, I feel like you're baiting me to do it, knowing that I can't do it and I'm not supposed to. And Katie's like, how am I supposed to know about that situation? And I'm not doing anything. And she's like, what does it matter anyway? Like, I'm not going to tell anything and they're not going to find out. And she's like, well, you broke the rule with Leah. And he was like, it was never a rule with her. And she was like, it's implied. But now they're saying that now it's like he wasn't supposed to do it with her either. Like, both of them. They all weren't supposed to do anything with each other because they were supposed to be married off. So he's basically like, you're oh my god, I can't really just, like, basically the situation is that she isn't really sure about his intentions because she thinks that he's just being nice until he's back on Lee's good side, and then they're going to be back to being mean to her. And he's thinking that she's doing this to basically get at him, knowing that he can't do anything, basically flirting with him and then riling him up, knowing that he can't do anything with her, of risk of dying or being exiled or whatever. So she's like, I don't care what you think about me. I'm not doing that. I'm me. I think you're playing with me to try to be on my good side when this is a farce. Like, this is how you really feel. Which, that's basically what I got from the situation. That's basically what they're saying. And they're both saying, like, I don't know who to trust. I don't know if I should trust you. And she's like, I don't know if I should trust you. I don't know who I can trust. The only person I feel like I can trust right now is Dad, and Kat. And then he's like, the only person I feel like I can trust is Miyu because she's my ride or die. I can only trust her right now. I don't know who to trust. So they're both basically saying the same things and basically come to the realization that they're both going through the same similar situation at the moment. Katie a little bit longer than William, but right now, I feel like it's like, okay, we gotta put this aside and basically come together. And Katie's like, okay, we can do that, but to do that, I need some security. So she's like, I want to take a picture of me on your lap and touching me for security reasons. If you betray me, I'll show them this picture and you'll be fucked. And he's like, well, if you show that picture and Leah finds out, then you'll be fucked. So it's just kind of like a double-edged security for both of them. So there we go. And I said, okay, I'm okay with that because I really, like, Katie's my number one. I don't even care. Like, she's my number one. She's my number one. It's between Miyu and Katie for number 2, Dana number 3, Gina number 4, and Zoe number 5. Yep, that's my list. I don't know about any other girls right now, but that's my list as of right now. It could change. Something should change. After that, then it gets into the stuff that I was waiting for. After that, she takes her pictures, and you can touch her chest again, and after that, it gets a little hot and steamy. And after that, apparently they've been sitting there touching each other for a while. And then I wonder, hey, where's Kat? Like, she didn't come back. I guess she didn't come back at a perfect ding moment. After that, you can it gets a little more hot and spicy. And she's like, if we're gonna get caught, then let's take it up a notch. So you can put your mouth on her breast. And after that, she's like, yo, dude, like, anybody can come in, we can get caught. And then after that, she's like, my room or yours. And he's like, I'm not doing that. Forget it. I'm not doing that. Because then we're really gonna be messed up. Then it cuts to Kat being outside and her hearing, like, footsteps and stuff, branches breaking and stuff like that. And then the power goes out. And it's all dark. And then they go over there to, like, a little bungalow. And Helen has a gun. Really surprised to see that, but not surprised for their line of business. Then it cuts to William and Katie, and she's like, he's like, the power went out, and he's like, how often does it happen? She's like, never, like this never happens. Then they're like scared, and they come up with a little plan with the sticky notes again, really cute. Then they, run through the house looking and stuff like that, and they end up finding Katie. I mean, they end up finding Kat, and she's like, Helen, she's outside still, and he basically tells them to wait inside, and he's gonna go find her. He walks through the woods, and he runs into Helen. Now she could have shot him. I'm glad that there was some light for her to see, because he would have blown up for real. Then they end up seeing somebody in the woods. They had a car in the woods, and they cut the pole down. Now Helen, I mean, I don't know why she didn't shoot, because the dude was like right in front of her. So I mean, if she would have shot him, then they would have got him. But who knows? He was able to run off and get in the car and speed off, and they get back to the house, and then they cut back on the generator, and they're sitting by the fire, and they're basically talking about the situation, like, this is crazy. And they're basically saying, we're gonna call some people to come check out the house. People come, and they're basically saying they're gonna stay where they are to chill. Everybody falls asleep. William ends up waking up. He goes into the kitchen, and he runs into Helen, and basically you can confess to her that you told Leah that you wrote the note. I chose to, because I'm like, she knows that I'm gonna tell Leah that she wrote the note. I mean, come on. So I told her, and she's like, okay. But then it's like she starts to, like, okay, he's trying to figure it out, and he's basically saying he's stressed about, the situation. He doesn't know who to trust. He doesn't know if he belongs. And then she basically writes on a note that, you belong with us. And he's like, are you sure? Without question, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you belong here. And basically he's saying, like, he asked like one last question: what if they exile me? And it doesn't matter if it's like without question, like, if I belong, like, if they say I gotta go, what's gonna happen then? And she basically says, she writes down, I'm going to kill Giuseppe. Like, I'll kill him. So he's like, he sees the note, he rips it up, and he, gives her like a kiss on the forehead, and she grabs her, she grabs his hand, and she puts it on her breast. And I'm like, okay, another one of those moments. And I said, I'm gonna test it, and I'm gonna grab her breast. Like, why not? She I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know what's going on. So after that, it skips to Leah, and she's getting into guns. Why does she have to keep doing things? So she wants to be an arms dealer now. And basically they're saying if the family finds out, she'll be exiled or worse. And she's like, don't worry, you can trust it. I know it's risky, but it'll be all right. Then it skips back to Ethan, and then it skips back to William, and he throws the note that Ellen wrote in the fireplace. Then Kat wakes up, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm just watching the fire. And basically they're like, do you want to go get something to eat? And Kat is like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom first. And then Katie, she decides she wants to go to the bathroom too, but then she's like, I want to go take a shower. And she's like, come with me, because it's on the other side of the house, and I don't want to go by myself. So they go, and they're sitting in the bathroom together, and he's like, I gotta go pee. So he starts to pee in the same room as her, and that's like, it's starting, the little, doing things in front of each other without, having no problems with doing it. And Katie's like, I want to take a shower. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna step out. And she's like, no, stay, because if you leave, I know you're gonna, if you step out, I know you're just gonna leave. And he's like, yeah, I am gonna leave. And after that, she gets into the shower, and he's like, nah, I know you don't mind it, because I know you told me that you liked me, so I know all this isn't torture for you. And he's like, well, nah, I'm just attracted to girls that look like they don't have a father, which is a funny line. And after that, he was like, she gets into the whole another situation that we didn't know about. Apparently when they were younger, they kissed. It was like a little peck. And Katie's like, I feel like that was one of the catalysts for you leaving, which I don't believe. I feel like it was some other shit. But it could have been, like, it could have spooked him out a little bit. But I don't know. It depends on when he did it and when he left for it to make more sense. Now, if he pecked her and then after that he kind of left, then okay, her theory in her mind could make sense. But if he pecked her and then days passed, then no, because he could still be thinking about if she did not know anything else went on. But if what we think is true, and she told the family that, what she threatened to tell the family what he did, then that probably is the reason why he left. And he's like, I'm leaving. And she's like, there you go again, because every time we have a situation, you run from it, which is true. And she takes the towel off, and she's showing all her goods. Like, she doesn't even care about her showing her goodies anymore. And I'm like, damn, that was quick. Like, fuck, it went from don't look at me and all that to here I am, goodies and all, And I'm like, man, Katie, oh my god, Jesus, like, woo wee, she looks good. I'm telling you, like, that's the type of body that I'm talking about. After that, she was like, do you like? There's a situation you could tell her that I think that. No, I feel like we would have worked out. Like, if Leah wasn't in the picture and it wasn't between them two, if they would have been able to, like, get married, because she basically tells him about, like, the marriage, about Leah's supposed to be getting married off, like, all of them were supposed to be getting married off. But since they don't trust him anymore, I guess he was off the table. After they have that whole discussion, he's like, yo, come on, like the sun's about to come up, hurry up. And she's like, make me. And you gotta either approach her and play with her or leave her. And if you approach her and play with her, you kiss her, you get to kiss her. And it basically says like this was inevitable. Like I guess that's like the inevitable path. I guess that was the inevitable path, basically, to where from now on, I feel like that's the type of stuff. Like it's like a, okay, this is our type, this is our relationship now. Like we're gonna just be doing stuff like this. Very dangerous. And Katie's like, basically, I'll drag you to hell. And that's basically what that means. Like if fucking messing with her, I mean, that basically what that would be if the rule is still in place to where he cannot do anything with her. Oh man, this review is already going to like an hour. So we're gonna keep going. We're almost done. We're almost done. After that, they exit the bathroom. He's basically saying, Kat's like, where's Katie? He's like, she was taking a shower, but she's getting dressed out. And Kat's like, oh, she got to take a shower. After that, they're about to go to the diner. As they are leaving, Katie decides to put her hand down with the sundown shine down. And he's like, yo, don't do that here. Like, yo, chill out. And she's like, give me some time. I could do worse. Like, I could borderline do like madness stuff. Like, it's gonna be like, basically, she's like, give me some time and I could do something like really mad. So I'm like, oh man, she's definitely gonna rev it up. She's definitely gonna rev it up for real. After that, they're sitting at the diner, and Katie decides to ask Kat if William and Katie decide to sleep together, how, what they would do to them if they did sleep together. And basically, he's like, Kat's like, don't. Basically, she's saying like, she's like, oh well, if you do want to sleep with someone, sleep with like Nia, like basically Dana or Leah. And Katie's like, he can't sleep with Leah either. But Katie's like, if he does sleep with Leah, at least he wouldn't be like murdered for it. And she's basically like, Katie, she doesn't have to worry because she'll probably be fine. But she's like, wait a minute, like for you to be asking that question, like you guys aren't like involved, are you? Like just so we're on the same page. But Katie, apparently she's a really, really good liar, which is helpful. But she's dropping hints, so if she keeps up with that, you're definitely gonna find Kat anyway. She's definitely gonna find that out. Then they have a family meeting minus Leah, and they're explaining that they're being watched and they can't leave because leaving would be a sign of weakness. And there's another moment where you can, do stuff with Katie. So she basically grabs your hand and puts it on her leg, or you could either keep it there or you can remove it. I kept it there because I'm like, why not? And plus, there's gonna be a moment where she starts to cry, and that would be like that's a really good moment to comfort her. Plus, it doesn't even matter because it's not like anybody can see us doing it. So I'm like, why not? If she wants it there, why not? And basically, the lady's like, if he gets exiled, like I'm gonna leave. Like the Kat says I'm gonna leave, and then surprisingly, Katie says I'm gonna leave also. And then Dalen's like, when have you ever followed him? And she's like, I'm not following him, but I'm like, I'm just not staying here. And he's the only one. I'll be all alone if he didn't. And I forgot, yeah, she does stay alone. Like Leah doesn't live in the house anymore. Kat, she has her own place. And it's just Katie. I really forgot about that shit. So she's like, I'm not staying by myself. So if he leaves, I'm going with him. And after that, they talk about the loan situation. And Katie's like, Leah hates me, so she's never gonna give me a loan. And Kat's like, no, she doesn't love you. You're actually her favorite. And Katie's like, she does not believe that. And she starts crying and stuff like that. And you could comfort her again. After that, they said that they have to, start having weekly meetings to talk about what's been going on, so they can all be on the same page. And basically, she said Scarlett basically says that it's Ethan's job to tell Leah to be involved, to basically get her on board with showing up to the meetings. Then it cuts to Leah's, I guess, underground drug lab, and one of the workers down there, not the workers, but I guess one of the muscles, he stole a pack. So I don't know if they're gonna find out that one is missing. If everything is accounted for, I'm pretty sure they counted everything. So if one's missing, then I don't know how he thought that was gonna fly, but it is what it is. You never know. If they didn't count it, then he'd be one brick richer. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's coke or what, but he'd be one brick richer. And if they did count it, then he's not gonna be good. Now, but I wonder. Now, my first thought was he's gonna get beat up. He's gonna be beat up and murdered. And if he does get beat up, maybe Leah will ask us to beat him up. Now that would be interesting. Introducing us into the fold, making people trust us. That would be interesting. And this is another one of my favorite moments from the episode. So basically, they go to the clothing shop and they're leaving, and across the way they see Katie's friends, and he sees her friends across the way, and he's basically saying, I cannot miss this opportunity. So he goes over there. They start talking about the guy that's with Kate, and Katie's like, huh? And she looks up and she's like, oh no. And it's William and Kat, and all the girls are like, what's going on? Then he's able to follow her into the building. You know, they're like, the professor hasn't started yet, she hasn't came yet, so you can come in. He decides to come in with them, and he's basically talking to Kat, and he's like, she's like, need to know, like, they're my friends. And he's like, I don't know about all this. The only time I do this is if I intend to bang a girl. Then, you know, she starts thinking, and she's like, oh no, you can, you know, no, William, these are my friends. And he's like, oh well, okay, then I guess you'll have to do. And, you know, she has to look in his face, like her face, like she's thinking about it. And he's like, oh my god, you're actually thinking about it. And she's like, no. And he's like, okay, what about the rules? And she's like, nah, I really don't care about the rules. And then, you know, they look at each other, and it's just kind of like, okay. And then the redhead comes over, and she's like, you know, you can talk to him all day, like, let me talk to him. And the blonde kind of like whisks her away, and, you know, they're, you know, asking about him and stuff like that. And he's like, you know what, let me ask you guys a question. And he's like, which one of you guys are on the team? And you're like, I think they're all on the team, I'm pretty sure. And he's like, okay, well then your coach sucks. And they're talking about, you know, his regime, and like the workout regime he has them on is it sucks. And they're like, yeah, I know. And he's talking about his accolades from like 30 years ago. They don't care. And they're like, you should train us. And he's like, I don't know anything about technique. And the girl's like, you should come watch us play. You know, he said, like, the shorter the skirts, the better the players. And he's like, okay, I'll come. And one of the girls lifts up her leg, and her underwear is showing. And then the professor, she walks in behind them, and, you know, she was able to see that. And she you know, the MC, you know, he looks, and he's like, oh my god, like, man, professor, she's banging. I ain't gonna lie, she's banging. And the girls, he goes over and talks to her, and the girls, they're like, oh my god, I hate her. Like, I'm like, ain't no way, like, she looks good. I ain't gonna lie, like, she looks really good. So he goes over there to get her number, and at first, like, he's like, let me, can I talk to the coach? And she's like, I can't give you, you know, that because of privacy, so I can't do that. And he's like, can you tell me a little bit about him? And she says she's sorry, but, and he's like, well, over dinner. And he's like, are you taking? Because she was like a little bit taken aback. And he's like, well, are you taking? And she was like, no, I'm not taking. I'm just, you know, that was very, like, sudden. And he's able to persuade her to give him her number. And I'm like, hey, I do not mind it. That was, oh Jesus. After that, he's about to leave, and he hugs Kat, and he talks to Katie, and he basically explains to her, you know, she's like, what's up with the professor? And he's like, I got her number. And she's like, well, why? And he's basically saying, like, to make friends, you know, you never know. And you can kind of get that she's a little jealous about it, but not really, but a little bit. And he's like, no, don't worry, like, you're still my favorite. Like, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. So after that, the girls work up the courage to ask him for an interview, and he pushes the blonde over there to talk to him. And you can say yes or you can say no. I just say yes, and why not, to give an interview. So I'm gonna skip ahead. They all had their little montages, and the one that was the most interesting was Donna was threatened by this man. I guess he was with Leah. I saw him. If you play ahead, he's at the club. When he's leaving the club, you can see him sitting down, and she's basically saying that, don't talk to him again, don't look at him, or whatever. And okay, so now I'm thinking that the whole getting trapped with the baby storyline is not gonna fly. So we might not see Donna again. I don't know. Like, there's maybe that's the end of her story. I don't know. She was starting with a gun, so there's no way she's gonna try it. I don't know who sent her. I don't know who she works for, but maybe she works for the police. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I didn't see. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't hear them say anything about her. So maybe it's like another family. Maybe she's out for her own benefit. I don't know. But interesting that she got threatened to stay away from him. That's very interesting. Then another one of my favorite moments was when they go to the club. Zoe basically tells him, don't talk to any girls, don't look at any girls, just let me do the talking, be quiet, look pretty, just don't do nothing, basically. And he's like, okay, let's go. Then a little montage shows, the montage that for the little trailer, that's the montage that shows, pretty cool montage. And then they make their way into the line. One of the Leah's men sees him, you know, he's supposed to be there, so she lets him in to the club. One of Leah's security basically stops them and takes them to Leah. One of the girls sees him and was like, okay, that what the girls were saying was true, probably about the way he looks and stuff like that. Leah dismisses her, and they talk about business, about the loan, and basically for the loan situation, he basically they have to buy this bar, and she'll give them the loan. She doesn't want any interest, and she only wants to take 5%. He gives her 15% if she lets Katie design cost outfits for the ladies that work there and any other establishment for 5 years with her own salary. And you know, Zoe was very appreciative about that. I was not expecting that, but that was a really nice surprise for him to do. That was pretty cool, and I really like that. After that, they leave the room, and they meet up with with Gina, and we get to meet Gary, the boyfriend. Okay, yeah. The old, like, if you play the old version, the old boyfriend was like skinny and he didn't look nothing like Gary, so that's pretty interesting to see. They're talking, and William sees a girl eyeing them, and he basically takes Stefan over there to talk to her. And basically, Stefan hits it off with the girl. He's flying from the nest. Very proud moment from him. After that, they're talking, and then William realizes that he forgot to ask Leah something, so he tries to get back over there to talk to her. The security, he's not really trying to let him back there, but then he radios Leah, and he's able to get back there to talk to her and ask her a question. When he gets back there, the most important thing is you can basically tell her that she might get married off. I was really, really thinking about not telling her to have an ace up my sleeve, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, it's very hard choice. Like, if I don't tell her, then I know she's not going to do it regardless, because even if this was a surprise, she's not going to do it. But I feel like if I did tell her that would be like a good grace. I'd let you know this, but she said she's not doing it, so he's going to have to get exiled because of the situation of that. So I don't know. If it helps my case, I'll go back and change my choice. But for right now, I let her know that there was talks about her getting married off. Oh yeah, also he asked Leah to be able to use like 3 girls to model for the lingerie or the poem shoot or whatever, and she said yes. So he rounds up some of the girls. They look really nice in my opinion. I have no problems with them. Yeah. After that, he goes back to the table. He's talking to them, and he basically says he wants to go explore. He gets stopped by Vera, and Rira basically tells him that it's okay for him to explore. She basically trumps what she has going on, and he basically sends Taylor over there to be his chaperone for the night, basically showing him around. So she does that, and basically he can ask her about what's going on and the ins and outs of the place and what she knows and what she doesn't know. So they're talking, and I ain't gonna lie, like Riri, she looks good. I don't know how to say her name, but she looks really good, like really good. And another thing is, I'm almost getting there, but I'm telling you, it blew my when he got to the VIP lounge, and you see, who do you think you see? Bella's mom, man. Bella's mom was in the building. I said, oh my god. At first I was like, is that Bella's mom? Am I tripping? For real? But it was her, bro. I was like, yo. We see Amber in the building, man. I was like, oh wow. So like there was some conjoining stories in this. This is what I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm talking about. Regardless of the weight, obviously Where It All Began is like bottom tier on the list of support and all that stuff. But me, this episode, it made me be like, okay, I can really get with this. Like, I can keep up with this. Like, at first, like, I'm telling you, my episode 1, okay, episode 2, okay, episode 3, betterish. But episode 4, this is what I'm talking about. He really was in his bag. That's why I feel like I'm really gonna be excited for season 2 of episode 1 of Summer's Gone. Like, I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. Just because of this right here, I know it's gonna be good. For characters that I started with was like I don't really know about. You saw my review. If you saw my review, you know what I was talking about. This changed my mind. Like to the 100 degree. I'm impressed. I'm gonna keep talking. But we see Amber, and we see the girl that we saw at the gas station, I think in episode 1, and basically tell a joke that she is scared to tell one of them that she likes them and stuff like that. And apparently, I mean, they took it, either they was in on the joke or they were actually like serious about that for her. And after that, you go to the bar, and Gina's trying to get a drink. You can see her eye. You see, I don't know if the makeup was kind of smudging off or it was like that the whole time. And you can basically see her eye. Literally looks like she got hit in it. I don't know if she got punched in the eye or she just got punched in the head. But she has a black eye, and it looks really bad. And you can allude that some of the guys that was at her restaurant outside of it, when she told them to go, you can allude that they probably put their hands on her and hurt her. And that's annoying as hell. But you tell Gina that you saw the glory holes, and you ask her if she wants to go, and she says yes. So you go back there with her, and after that, you tell her that, hey, your boyfriend likes this type of stuff. Why don't you go take a picture at the glory holes? And you can take a picture, and you tell her, like, don't send it to him now. Send it to him, like, on the way home, so you can do something with him, get him excited. And she does it, and after that, you guys leave the room. You guys leave the club. You hail a cab. Stefan went with the girl. Proud of him. You guys get back to the house. Zoe is basically turned on, and you could do something else with her. You can basically kiss her lips down there, and she gets turned on, but she's like, no, I'm not doing anything. It's still cheating. Then you guys go in the room to talk to Katie. You guys look at each other. She was underneath the covers. I guess she was scared because she was there alone. And you see her, you can pick her up and kind of like wrestle with her and stuff like that. Kind of cute. And after that, you guys sit and you watch TV together. And with that, he basically tells Katie that tomorrow he's gonna go see Giuseppe, and if it doesn't go well, then he won't be seeing her anymore. But he'll be gone for like a couple of days, and then she said, I'm delighted to hear that. But you could tell that, well, you can't see, well, he can't see her face, but you could tell that she's doesn't like that. She wants him to stay. He has to go deal with the situation. And then we get to the meat and potatoes. They have been watched. The whole family has been under surveillance by the police, and they got them all up on the whiteboard, all the pictures labeled, families, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh man, this is worse than I thought. And he wants to, the lady Rita, she wants to talk to Monica. I guess because Monica, I guess she's good at her job, and she wants to see if she knows anything or if she could point her in the right direction. And what I want to know is Monica going to, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna say? Because I mean, she's close with Dana, but I don't. Well, no. Zoe said that she's friends with Monica. Yeah, they went out to the movie, so they should be friends. So I don't know. I don't know if the cops know that. Well, Monica was being monitored too, right? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. After that, they're watching TV. Katie, Zoe, William. They're talking about that show and the theories about who's the toaster and all that stuff. After that, rocks come through the window, busted him out. They all get down. TV's broken. He tells them to call Leah and Dalen, and they all hide. They get down, and William says he's gonna go check on Helen. Helen, she's in her room, sleep, but she gets woken up by the noise, and as she's running, probably to leave the building, a rock goes through the window and hits her in the eye, and you could allude that probably knocked her out, and that's the end of the episode. Man, I'm telling you, when I ended the episode, I was like, wow, this was it was a good episode. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm usually honest when I don't like an episode. I'm usually honest when I'm very disappointed. And this time, I can't be disappointed. For as many renders as we got, I put my expectations on those. And I think for this episode was like 2,000 renders. Not bad. It took me a couple of hours. So I took my time, and I played the episode as it was intended. And I liked it. I had fun. There's a lot of mysteries here. It's not simple. There's like a whole family type, mafia type situation going on, and they all have their own families. We find out that Leah and William, they have two different families. They're not from the same family, and their families were murdered, and they got adopted into Helen's and Dalen's family. And then I thought they said that they had Katie, like, or they actually had a child or something. I don't know. And then I don't know. Yeah, but then Katie says she doesn't trust Helen. But why does she call her Helen and not Mom? I don't know. I'm confused by that. Maybe because of the patch or something. But yeah, I need to see if I can play with the patch to see if things change or if things make sense. If there is a legitimate patch available. But I liked it, man. I don't know about the theories. Like, of course, Helen's probably gonna have to be in recovery. She's gonna have another traumatic thing going on. And considering where he's gonna have to see Giuseppe tomorrow, maybe that's gonna put off the meeting because she got injured. We don't know who put the rocks through the window. Probably one of the rival families. I don't know. They should have left, but I understand why they didn't want to. But how the hell was somebody able to get that close to be able to throw rocks through the windows? All the windows. Where's security? Like, I thought security was supposed to be outside, but they're not. This is like, and where the hell is Dalen at? Like, what the fuck? He wasn't there. Yeah, like. Then we see Amber. We saw Bella's mom. You could tell that she was younger then, not too much younger. Probably in her, I'd say probably before she probably had Bella. Maybe, I don't know, but she looked young enough. So probably before she had Bella. That girl with the bob. I wonder if that's the girl that was in the kitchen that looked at Nika, but we didn't know her name because we just saw the way she looked. So I wonder if that's her. I don't know, but I can't wait to see some of the characters. I mean, of course, Emilio. See Emilio. He looks totally different as Summer's gone. Like, way older and way more eccentric or whatever. Probably out of the game now. Probably has his own stuff going on. But yeah, like, I like the episode, man. I really did. Like, what do you guys think? Like, did you guys like the episode? I did. I had fun. I'm definitely ready for Summer's Gone now. I'm definitely ready for Summer's Gone. I hope it's not too much longer considering he's just doing Summer's Gone. But people said, like, it's probably a couple more months, so we're still probably gonna have to wait. But if you guys made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I have fun doing these reviews. I have fun playing these games and letting you guys know my feelings about it. It's not easy doing reviews like this because I have to really think about what I'm going to say as I'm playing. Like, it's easier to play and say, but at the same time, it's not really that off the dome for me. So I prefer to play and then like write down my thoughts and then say my thoughts later on. But I should probably switch up. Like, one day I'm definitely going to play an episode to see how that goes. The only reason I didn't want to because I would have to blur. But honestly, I found out a way to do that. So next episode, I probably will play it as I talk to let you guys know how I'm feeling. But I'm very awkward when I do that, so that's why I've never done it before. I talk as I play because my thoughts they probably wouldn't like fly on YouTube, so that's why I haven't done it. But you know what? I might do it next time. I might do it for you guys if you guys are interested. But if you guys made it this far, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.